All right, guys, we are back on the Esports Report. Been lining up some interviews on Twitter during the break, so thank you guys for your patience. We have someone coming on in just a few moments to come talk about FaZe Black. In the meantime, though, we got our first, we got some proof of a roster submission. Now, this will not be official until 5 p.m., so changes could still be made to it, but I bet none of you saw this one coming. Pat Price posted it. There is his email to Jason and Adam from the League Operations team. This might come to it as a shocker since no one else has done the same thing, but we're continuing into Season 2 with the same roster. Eggs, TP, Crim6, and Karma. Why wouldn't they? They are the champions, the reigning champs at the moment. Obviously the #1 team in the world. I think they could go on for a while longer, at least through the life of Ghost, if they keep playing the way that they did at PAX. A few games were close, but everything else, they had dominance over. They're able to lock down, their strategies are impeccable, and as many people said during the tournament, any one of those players could be the main slayer on any other team. TP, their objective guy, could be the main slayer on any other squad. Now, what I found really funny was a Reddit post earlier today, and it said, this was the team-changing rotation. It just keeps happening. Sorry, I'm buying time while Ron gets a interview ready. Let me find it. Ron, where did it go? Basically, just mentioning what happens as soon as a tournament is over. This is the ongoing cycle. Complexity wins. Players break up. Players come back together, claim that they're on the grind, new duos, new partners, excited for the new squad, go to an event, lose to Complexity, and it repeats. Seems to be the story so far in competitive Call of Duty, at least in the last 10 months. There has been a little bit of structure. You see 3 players from Optic Gaming staying together. You got Embos making his new squad, Optic Nation, but Proofy has been added from FaZe Black over to Optic Nation. Of course, Proofy was playing with JCap, Replays, and Classic on FaZe for Season 1. After Season 1 and following the Call of Duty Championships where they got a disappointing 6th place finish, they decided they wanted to part ways. Proofy was going to start his own squad, and his first 2 pickups were Censor and Saints. After that, they got formal on the lineup. FaZe Black was done until yesterday. Now Proofy's on Optic Gaming. Censor and friends had to find a 4th, and that player was Dido. Any moment now we'll have Censor on the phone to talk about it. And he's ready now. Thank goodness, Ron. Bring him on. Doug Martin, how you feeling today, my friend? Are you muted again, Doug? Did you mute yourself again, Doug? I think I muted you. And by me, I mean the guy in the control room named Xavier. Xavier's going to unmute him. And we're going to get this started. I'm going to find your stats one more time, Mr. Censor. In the meantime, okay, Censor comes in, domination, 7.14 domination captures the game. The only player better than that was Muddog, who was all over the flags. So he's the rotator. He's the guy getting B for their squad, and then also constantly getting in the enemy's base, causing the neutralizations, and if he wins the one-on-one, he's able to get that flag back. When it came to blitz caps, he was behind Eggs, Formal, Theory, and Classic as the number 5 guy overall, averaging 3.8 caps.
Hello.
Hi, Censor.
Hello?
You're here, and I can hear you now. How are you, my friend?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm really good. So,
Good.
Roster Madness 2013 Part 2.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the Dido move, man. First of all, did you know that Proofy was going to Optic Gaming? When did you find out and how?
I found out through a text message from Mr. Jordan Cannon about 4:30 Eastern yesterday. He texted 419 in a group chat, and I'll read you the text message right now, actually. I'll pull it up on my phone for you.
I'm ready for that.
I'll give you the entire rundown on what happened yesterday because it was a crazy, crazy sequence of events, and I was on my phone for about 10 hours straight talking to Tommy, Formal, Saints, Parasite, Dido, and then Tommy again, and it was just an insane day. He said, "Yo, boys, I'm leaving the team. Just you guys were given the opportunity to further your careers with the FaZe org. I'm furthering mine with Optic. Hope you guys can understand. If not, I don't know, boys. Doug, I assume you'll be the captain. No, I'm not kidding." And I thought it was a joke at first, and then I was like, wait a second, it would make sense because Proof was talking to Hex and Nade the Sunday night at PAX. But Formal just responded with what? And then I said, good luck, man. And obviously he made that official. So Proof went to Optic. I can't blame him. It's a great decision for him. The only concern that I have is that he didn't say anything to Tommy or any of the guys at FaZe right after. I think he did contact Banks, but like I said, it's a great move for him, and I wish him the best of luck. And I think our team's going to be just as strong without Proof.
Before you picked up Dito, you guys were doing some shopping.
Yeah.
You know the roster lock is today at 5 o'clock. What went through your head right away as you know, I need to pick up a fourth, and I got to keep this team from falling apart?
Well, the first thing that went through my head is that since Proof was leaving the team, he was given the second team with FaZe. So instantly I just called Tommy, and I said, Proof's leaving. He said, yeah, I know. And I told him, I understand if you don't want us on your organization because this team was made because of Proof. And surprisingly enough, Temper said, no, man, I want you to be the captain of my team. I really admire and respect you, and I want you to lead the second team. So I really do appreciate that opportunity I was given. And with that said, I said, all right, I'll go look for a fourth right now. And he said, all right. So then I called Formal, and I asked Formal what he thinks. And the first word that came out of his mouth, just one word actually, said Parasite. And I said, I agree. So then I called Parasite. He said he was down to play with us.
Why was it Parasite real quick? Why did you guys want to go after Chris?
Because me, Saints, and Formal are all submachine gun players, and Saints could also pull out an AR. Formal could also use an AR, and Parasite's a very team-oriented guy. He's very versatile as well. He impressed all of us at PAX. He's a great search and destroy player, which is something our team was lacking. So we figured if we had Parasite on the team, we'll pick his brain. He'll make us a lot better at search, and our respawn game will still be dominant.
Okay, so Parasite was your guy. Now, how did you go after him?
I called him. I literally just went to my phone. I gave him a phone call. I said, you're a free agent. I know he left Curse. We needed one. And without hesitation, he said yes, and he was openly willing to play with FaZe.
Gotcha. All right, so he was on board for a while. What happened in that next hour?
Well, by a while, if you mean an hour, I don't know how long you would say
60 minutes is a while if you're waiting. Yeah.
Depends on the terms, but as far as a team, that's probably one of the shortest tenures I've ever seen. He told me he wanted to join. We made everything official. I talked to Temper. He was cool with it. I talked to Formal. He wanted it. Saints was on a flight. I couldn't contact him, but it was the best move I saw fit, and I hopped on it. And everyone welcomed him. We actually invited him to the Skype chat as well. He said hi. And then we got the news that Optic Nation wanted to pick, Envy wanted to pick him up. Hastro contacted Temper. Temper told me about it. I asked him, and Formal told me that he wasn't going to join Envy. And then little did I know they dropped Ray. And then I asked Parasite again, are you going to join? And half an hour later, he texted me back, and he said, I'm so sorry, man. The timing of all this was awful, but I did want to play with Envy. I love Study. I love Nameless. I love the org. It was always my first choice. No disrespect to FaZe, but it's what I wanted to do. And he apologized again for putting us through that situation. So I think they're going to be a great team. I think it's an awesome move for him. He likes playing with those guys. He's probably going to mesh well with them, and it's going to be a good team.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Parasite. And then you guys had that fourth spot still to fill. Everyone else is pretty much taken. Were there any other free agents out there before you found Dito that you were thinking about?
Cap texted me and he wanted us to take Methods. Also, Mud Dog was a consideration. There wasn't too many players out there. We talked as a team, and we figured, even though we had our issues when we're on Strictly Business, that Dito was the best player and he was the best fit for the team. We needed an AR player. Dito is as best as it comes. I told him after I parted ways with him with Strictly Business and I went to FaZe, and I said, Dito, you're a great player, but if you want to get far in this business, you need to change your attitude and you need to be more professional. And as long as you do that, you're going to go really far, because he has all the skill in the world. I won with him. We always placed top 4 together. He's a great player. And, as everything turned out, we had to pick him up.
All right, so you and Dito have patched things up, put that aside?
Yeah, I've been talking to him for the past 12 hours. I told him, we're interested in having you on the team. Temper contacted Chaos. He paid for Dito's flight for Niagara, so Temper had to reimburse Chaos the money. Dito wants to, squash any beef that we have. He wants to make this work. And, I'm all for it, too. I'm not a guy who's going to hold a grudge. I'm not judgmental. If he wants to change and, I want to change, we both want to have the same goal. We both want to make FaZe a bigger org. We both want to brand ourselves. We want to win championships. We all have the common interest. So it's all about execution now, and I have no doubts in my mind that I could do that with Dito.
Now, I saw you guys, we actually took the same shuttle on that final day of PAX, and in the front 2 seats, it was Dito in the front one with Saints, and then you and Formal in the back, and then way behind you guys was Apathy. Did you ever think you'd be playing with Dito after PAX?
No, to be honest, I had no idea. The squad was me, Proof, Formal, and Saints. We planned it right after Champs. We made it the squad. We hung out in packs together. We had a great time. And I guess Proof just got the offer, or he asked them, or one of the two. And once that happened, that's when the chain of roster changes occurred. So, I didn't expect it to happen. And then I thought Parasite was going to be the player, and then they dropped Ray. Envy did. So a lot of things happened for this to happen. It kind of happened before regionals too. A lot of different roster changes happened for us to be playing with Dito again. And, it's just crazy how it all works out. It was an interesting day of Call of Duty yesterday.
Well, Strictly Business is number 2 team at PAX. You guys finished right behind Complexity. Again, you're the only team to take Complexity down in the winner's bracket in the last year. Is this new lineup strong enough to dethrone the champions? I know a lot of people are asking that.
That's the biggest question that we're getting on Twitter right now. And I'll be honest with you, Apathy is an outstanding player, and he makes plays that I've never seen any player make. And when he's on, he is the best player in the entire world. No questions asked, hands down. Best player, great teammate. I love him to death. However, he can be inconsistent, and that's where Formal is different than Apathy. He's a lot more vocal. He's a very good shot caller, great teammate, very well with communication, which is something that Apathy did lack. But he made up for it with his talent. But Formal is a little bit more consistent than Apathy is. He doesn't put up the numbers that Apathy would when he's going hard. He doesn't have the X factor, or at least I don't know if Formal does, but Apathy was our X factor, and he would make the plays that we needed to do to win. But Formal is a lot more consistent. I'm pretty sure it's going to work out. Saints loves Formal, Dito loves Formal, I love Formal. We're all great friends. He's going to fit the role really well, and I'm pretty sure we're going to do really well as a team.
So is Formal going to be taking over that role that we saw Apathy kind of fill in on? He was very good at Blitz, working with you, especially on the map Warhawk. We saw him doing lots of objective work with on Domination. Is Saints going to be filling in on the OBJ side? I don't see Dito really kind of taking on any more of the objective role. That's just not his play style. What is Formal going to do on this team? How does he fit into the existing core that used to be Strictly Business?
He's going to do exactly what Apathy did. He wants to pull out the smokes, run the silence MTAR, jump around on flags, be a nuisance. He's a very smart player. The thing that Formal doesn't have that Apathy did, like I said, was that X factor and that crazy going off clutch ability that Apathy would do. But he makes up for it with his communication, his consistency, and his gun skill too. So they're both phenomenal players. Apathy and Formal are both great players. And actually, Apathy's on a really good team now. I think his team's going to do really well. It's going to be the same core, TK. It's going to be Neslo, Goon, and Sharp. And then he's going to be replacing Theory. So I think that's going to be an awesome team. I think TK has a great pickup, and they're going to go far.
Team Caliber looking pretty fierce now once again.
No one's talking about them, Puckett. No one's saying anything about TK.
I got it set up. In fact, 4:45, Sharp's going to be on. We'll talk all about that TK today.
This is why you're the host of this show, Puckett. You have it all locked down.
Got it covered, man. This is my job. I love it. Well, while I have you on here, let's talk PAX, and let's talk a little bit about what went down at that tournament. First and foremost, what was your closest matchup in your opinion? Who did you stack up the most even?
Complexity.
Complexity.
No questions asked. Complexity.
And in that series, what went wrong for you guys? Because I saw some confidence from you, and I thought, it might happen again, where we might go to a second best of 5 here.
Yeah, they pretty much smacked us the first series, kind of like how we did to them at regionals. They destroyed us. It wasn't even close. We didn't play good. They played amazing. They showed why they're the best in the world. We came back through the losers bracket, beat Curse LV 3-1. And then when we came back to play them again, we played really, really well. We just came up short, and Complexity does what they do, and they close out games when it gets close.
Now, playing against Curse Las Vegas, no one really expected them to finish top 3. In fact, all of my pre-event predictions, everyone had them 5th, 6th. Didn't think they would get along, didn't think they'd play well. Who was playing well in that series for Curse Las Vegas? And I know you were watching almost all the games. Who was playing well for Curse throughout the entire weekend?
Parasite was definitely the standout player, and that's why we wanted to pick him up on FaZe Black in the first place. He played great in Search, great in Respawn. You heard him yelling, awful, in his high-pitched voice when he was making 2 pieces and big plays. So Parasite was their best player at that event. From when I played them in the round 1, and I also played them for the championship match. So Parasite was their best player.
And how good do you think Optic Nation will be now that Miracles is heading back over with Killa and Ricky will be joining that lineup?
When I read that roster on paper, it's Miracles, Killa, Mbos, and Ricky. It just sounds like the ultimate online S&D team. Like, if I'm looking to play in an S&D tournament and I see Optic Nation, I'm not signing up for that tournament because I'm just scared to play those guys. I think they're going to be a great search team. I don't know how their respawn's going to be. I don't know how their attitudes are going to be. I know Killa and Ricky don't get along that well, but obviously they're trying to work something out. They're going to be teaming together again. I think it's going to be a solid squad. Ricky's going to be their AR. He's a solid player, and I think it's going to go far.
And let's keep asking you a few more questions about the teams that were at PAX and now involved in team changes. FaZe did not finish in the money. Theory has already announced that he is coming over from TK to fill in on this FaZe lineup. What was wrong with FaZe's old lineup, in your opinion? FaZe Red.
They didn't get along. They didn't like Proofy. Proofy didn't like them. I think Classic wanted to play more of an AR role, and that's what Proofy did. So Classic didn't feel comfortable doing his role. When we play those guys, we play really well against them. We always stack up well against that team. Whatever it is, I think the aggressiveness between me, Saints, and Apathy really counted their AR presence with JCap, and then Proofy wanted to use a sub, and Classic wanted to use an AR, and they kind of just had to switch roles, and I don't think that's a good thing to do. If you guys are feeling uncomfortable in a team and you're not liking your role, it's never going to work out. So I think having Theory on that team instead of Proof is going to make Classic feel more comfortable with an AR or a sub if he needs it. Cap's going to be the main AR. Replays the shot caller, and Theory's an awesome player, so I think it's going to be a better team.
Thinking it'll be better after that one. What about the Envy move? Obviously, you wanted their fourth. How much stronger is Envy going to be with the addition of Parasite?
Well, actually, Parasite and Nameless were two of the 4 players who beat Complexity in Black Ops 2. So my team at Regionals and their team at PAX are the last 2 teams to beat him in the past year. So Nameless, awesome player. Obviously, one of the best players on this game. He's proved himself. Study, another player who stepped up, proved himself. Merc, consistent. And Parasite wants to win. He's a great player. We wanted him on his team, like you said. And Parasite, Nameless, Study, Merc, that's going to be an awesome team. We'll see how they play out. I think it's going to be a really smart, methodical, search and destroy championship type of a team.
And the last one here, Team Caliber, I think it's no secret at this point. Neslo is going to be the 4th on there with Goonjar and Sharp. How do you think this new TK stacks up against the other 2 teams? How do you rank now FaZe, Envy, and TK?
FaZe Red, Envy, TK?
Yeah.
That's the question?
Yeah.
I think Envy would be number 1. I don't know. I've never seen FaZe Red play with Theory. I know that they love Theory, and I watched him play, and he's a great player. And I think Classic would be more comfortable playing his role. Everyone's going to be happier. So I don't know how well they're going to play together. So I can't really tell you right now. Neslo and TK, they just go hand in hand. Neslo is so loyal to those guys. Goon and Sharp are loyal as well.
Right.
And Apathy's an awesome fit for them. So I don't know how well they're going to play, but I think Envy is the best team out of those 3.
And if you had to replace Apathy on that TK lineup for UGC Niagara, which it sounds like they will have to do, what free agent would you go after?
Oh, man. I don't even know who's a free agent right now. All I know is I think Realize is one. Diabolic is one. I don't know. I don't think any players really got screwed over, if you will, after all these rosters were created and the league was announced. So it's going to be interesting to see who they will pick up. But I'm not entirely sure because every team's on an org for Season 2, as it seems. Maybe a player from Rise if they can't get all their players to move to Justice, or if Justice won't give the spot to Rise, maybe one of those players, or maybe Realize. I don't know yet.
It's going to get interesting. Well, Censor, thank you so much for coming on the show. We have 50 minutes before the roster locks. FaZe Black, this is done?
Yeah.
Has the email been sent?
It's been sent last night.
It's been sent last night. Hopefully it stays with this same roster. Best of luck to you and the new crew. Thanks for coming on the ESR. Guys, when we come back, I'll be talking with Blevdog from Curse. Talk about his 2 teams, who's playing, what went down with Parasite. Talk about all of that after this.